Welcome back to On the Mic with Shaz and our special series, Women in Tech Leadership, the Upsides. I'm your host, Shaz, and today I'm joined by Arpita Sen. Today's episode is a little different because leadership doesn't always start with a title. I'm joined by Arpita, a highly skilled full stack developer whose story is about intention, it's about resilience and redefining success, especially during one of life's biggest transitions, becoming a parent. This conversation is for anyone navigating career pressure, personal change, and big questions about what's actually worth it. Welcome, Arpita.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
So, obviously, I know you quite well. Let's have a chat so that the listeners can get to know you a bit better. And before we get into the whole tech and careers, what's something becoming a parent taught you about yourself that you didn't expect, and how has that shown up in your work?
Challenge. Lot of challenge. When we planned for our baby, we didn't realize that lots of challenge will come in the way. So the biggest thing I actually missed is my parents are not here. We are migrant here from India. So yeah, that was the biggest challenge. I always missed my parents, some helping hand after an exhausting day, but eventually try to figure out like how we can manage and how smartly you are doing that, how happily you are doing that. That's the thing. And every day there is lots of learning. Every day there are lots of things I have to figure out. I have to rethink. I have to introspect what's wrong going on yesterday so that I can work on that. And so, yeah. And now we're here working full time, both my partner and myself. And also, there is a big dream for us to create a AI startup and trying to get into that little bit. And kid is now 3.5 years. And anytime we get like setback, it's not happening for maybe from a mom's mind, a dad's mind, or from like employee's mind. Whenever we think like it's not happening in proper way, maybe we need to rethink. And the positive thing is like, we have spent 3.5 years as a parent. That's a big thing. So we should cherish that moments. How we have done that past 1 year, 2 year, 3 years.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you look back over your career so far, then
Mhm.
what's one moment that felt really, really hard at the time, but now you see it as a turning point rather than a setback? Because I know you mentioned it there for the personal side. What about in your career side as well?
Yeah, there were a lot actually. I had a huge background in literature. I invested kind of 10 years back in India, and some circumstances changed. So I tried to find new opportunity in IT, and then we came here on 2019. And after coming here, there's some like issue with health issue or something, and then I tried to get into IT job, and it was really hard initially to get a job because I didn't have any local experience. And yet every day, every interview, I got some feedback and worked on that and tried to push me harder and harder that I have to do that. There is nothing set back, there is no chance to go back, so I have to move forward. The only thing I can do. I mean, if you are in tech, you have to have one mindset like it's changing always, it's evolving. So if you want to be here, if you really enjoy work, then you have to evolve according to tech stack and everything. So that one mindset, honestly, still I'm enjoying. I'm alive.
That's good. Even though it was challenging, it kicked off this mindset that you now use in your career to date.
Yeah. Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. You know, personally, for me, because I worked in recruitment, I
Mm-hmm.
hated when I hear people migrate from another country and they say you don't have local experience. It is my biggest pet peeve. I'm like, how can you say that to somebody? Like, it is ridiculous thing to say. And in recruitment, we were told to watch out for that. Can you believe it? Like, we were instructed to not talk to people who've just moved to Australia.
Yeah, lots of cultural shock also was there. Yeah, still, it's very funny. In my one of my interviews, so they were asking me like, if you can't finish your job by Friday, then what will you do? And I was so desperate to get the job. I told like, okay, I'll work on weekend.
Yeah, yeah. And in our interactions together, like, you lead yourself with a lot of intention, a lot of clarity. How do
Mhm.
you personally define leadership at this stage of your career?
Leadership can happen at any stage. It's not about, I mean, it's not related to any age, right? I mean, you can take any leadership lesson from maybe 5-year-old kid, how they're manipulating their parents. So they're actually the leader at your home. They know where to set the boundary and where parents are setting the boundary, and they're very much expert to break that boundaries, and they will make you furious, and they will taste your patient. Yeah. So yeah, lots of leadership elements are there. You, if you are really interested, you can observe very granular level. You can observe other people's who are actually leading. It's not one quality to be leading. There are multiple things, and how they are handling all these challenges, and
Yeah,
how peacefully.
that's awesome. I was actually belly laughing there, but I was trying not to interrupt your flow. I was
So,
actually belly laughing when you said about the kids and leadership, because I used to teach kids in Thailand, kindergarten and primary. They would
mhm.
always outsmart me, and then I would outsmart them back, and then they would come back and outsmart that new outsmartness, and
Yeah.
it was traumatic the way they were able to think, and whenever they wanted something, they would come down when I'd finished a class, and they'd know I was coming up to their class, and they would offer to take my books for me. They would offer to walk me to class. And then when I'd get there, they'd be like, "Oh, Teacher Sharon, do you mind if..."
Yeah, kids are very smart and they will definitely outplay you. If you really want to build your leadership quality, you have to understand other people, and that starts from the kids' mind. If you observe them, what they want, how things, I mean, because they're pretty smart and they have very good sixth sense. So,
That's a good point you made, because kids pick up on your energy. That's what happens for you as a leader as well. People pick up on your energy, and
yeah,
they're relying on you and your energy and your authenticity to guide them through a situation, right? And then it gives them the confidence to attack and fulfill a situation as well. And while we're on this topic now, actually, becoming new parents brought a lot of strain, but also growth for you and your partner.
yes.
What shifted in how you think about success, ambition, and having it all during that time?
For me, if I really learn new things, I always feel like alive again. So if I get stagnant position, I really hate that. I
Mm.
want to learn something new. It might be from your personality change, from your communication change. Now I'm working a lot on my communication and English vocabulary and learning new things. And I have some wish to complete some certification this year. So this kind of like goal set, if I can do that, that I'll really feel happy. And for me, success is like the way you want your life to flow, and you won't have any regret in your deathbed. So
Yeah.
that's what it's not like success means after 50 years I will have something. Okay, so for everyone success means different. For me, it's if I live happily today, I'm successful at the end of the day. And if tomorrow is very challenging day, and if some challenges happen, that unpredictable challenges, and if I handle that in with smile, that's success. So that I
Mhm.
made my personality in such way, in any situation I can get some positive impact from that. I will build that or implant that in my personality to make it happy moment, even though it's the saddest part. So not always, it doesn't happen always. I get depressed, I get setback, but after that, if you come back from the setback, that's success.
Yeah. I like that you allow yourself to have those moments because you're just human.
Yeah, no, no, definitely. I had a long time postpartum depression. It was ongoing for quite a long time, and that was the hardest part I thought till now. And that's the biggest thing for me. Like I came back from that, right? So I can do anything now. So that was the biggest part. There was no helping hand. I missed my parents a lot, mainly my mom. And yeah, it was very emotional, very dense. But every day I just counseling myself, like, yeah, this time will pass. Yeah. And then came back to work. And by that time I had job. That was really big piece. After pregnancy, I came back when he was 8 months. And yeah, gradually I found myself and more actually. Now I have a lot more confidence because I have gone through all this part.
Wow. And that's what I love about you. And it was so inspiring when you were talking to me about this and obviously the challenges that you faced, but the way you spun it. And yes, of course, you have your moments where you've allow yourself to feel how hard it is and how bad it is. But the
Yeah.
way you spun it, you and your partner are so commendable because you didn't throw yourselves pity parties. You adapted to the
Oh,
situation and you decided from here, what have we learned from this? And
yeah.
you decided that the world isn't against you and you've got this beautiful miracle in your life. What are you going to do with it? Right. And you guys stepped up. Yeah. You stepped
Yeah.
up and you decided this is what we're going to do. We're going to take back our power as parents and find the roles that fulfill us. And we're going to take charge here.
Yeah.
And this isn't, not going to overpower us or define us. We've got this. And I think that for me just stood out. You two are just amazing.
Yeah, every situation actually there can be two impact. The way you want, you can channelize that. So yeah, if something sad happened today, you are depressed or something, definitely you have two option. Either you will make use of it, or you will just be succumbed by it. So I always choose to
Mm.
find something positive so that it will contribute something in my next step in positive way. I mean, I can remember my house always like showcase house before parenting.
Like a showroom.
Yeah, like a showroom. It's always like organized. Every piece will be in its perfect position, and I was so obsessed with that. And now you can find like there is a heap of utensils there for 3 days to get into the dishwasher, and I couldn't manage that. It's like it's very small thing in daily life, but to digest that kind of thing from that very placement of your every thing is it should be in very perfect position to that dirty dishwasher. It's a huge mindset change. Now I allow, okay, I'm exhausted, okay, I need some rest. Basically, how what you have to prioritize, that's the biggest thing, and how you can save your energy. So these two key part I always maintain nowadays to make my parenting really happy moments. Because yeah, if I'm exhausted, if I can't play with my kid, that day I will miss. So I really don't want to be in that position that I missed my one day, um, that's with my kid. So I always I'm very consciously every time now, like where my energy is draining, I have to stop that when I have to stop, and what have to be done next. What's the priority one? So prioritizing thing and saving your energy, these two I really maintain very consciously.
That was beautifully said. And I think it is that acceptance, right? Because we beat ourselves up when the house isn't clean. But how about accept that? How about accept that it's going this direction, but there are beautiful moments in the day? I've made this habit now of when I talk to my husband about my day, your instinct is to talk about the challenges and the rah, right? But I've programmed myself now to go, okay, what were the good things? And it really helps because my energy changes. The minute I start thinking about, okay, what am I going to say that was great about today? And switch
Mm.
to that mode, my energy changes with it. And then I'm no longer drained or burned out. Because really, we get burned out just by our thoughts. That's it. Our thoughts burn us out. Yeah. So I'm the same as you now. If the house isn't clean, or I just let it go because that was meant to go that way today. It was meant to go that way, and I didn't get to clean, and it didn't come into the plan. That's okay. It'll happen another day. No one's going to die.
Exactly. Even if I have any unfinished work today, maybe I was so exhausted to finish that, maybe related to our AI, to our startup thing. So usually previously what we were doing, that we extend to the end of the energy, and next day also we felt like half energy restored. So yeah, that's where it comes like, no, we need to know where to stop draining your energy. So if you're master
Yeah.
on that, then the whole day maybe will be full of energy because you are maintaining your energy in proper way. And yeah, and also food I have started, what I'm intaking, not only food, like what kind of thoughts you are taking out of any circumstances, out of any incidents around you. That's also another thing. That's why when you told like negative thoughts that actually drain us, that's true, very true. So if you are in positive thought process, if you are surrounded by some positive thoughts, you can't change your surroundings, but you
Mm.
can change your thought process.
You nailed it. It's so true. Different situations are going to pop up all the time. Challenges are going to
Yeah,
pop up, but it's your
absolutely.
thoughts
Absolutely.
and reactions around it is the key. Okay, so back to career side now. When you face challenges
Hmm.
or when you face challenging periods in your career, what's
Hmm.
helped you pause, reflect, and make grounded decisions regardless of the outcome?
One thing I always said for me, that's there is no setback. There is no point to go back. Now, always I think how to step forward. Suppose I got to an interview, I got rejected. There might be three, four reasons I got rejected. They may be told like, okay, it might be for communication skill. Okay, you need to develop this skill. Okay, so there is something I can work on. If there are four, maybe vacancy is gone, but that's not on me. I have nothing to change on that. But whatever I can change for myself, I will definitely start working on that. So there is no setback. It's always step forward. And because you are not getting that time back, right? So you went interview means you have already utilized that time period. So time is moving forward. So you also have to move forward. So yeah, new time. Tomorrow is a fresh day. And next hour is also a fresh hour. So how you can utilize that is absolutely up to you. If you want to get depressed in the next hour, you will be depressed. If you want like, okay, at least I have some guidelines, I have some weakness in my communication, I have some weakness in my vocabulary, I have some weakness in my tech stack. I had to go deep into this part. Okay, start doing that. Yeah, otherwise, I mean, I never get anything out of this. What else you can think if you get rejected from a interview, right? You can only polish yourself more. That's all.
Yeah, you can learn from the situation because often you'll hear from companies a generic feedback, so it doesn't really help you to learn. But what you can learn to do is your reaction to the situation. Yes, be disappointed and give yourself a moment to be disappointed. Then go, what can I learn from this?
Mm-hmm.
I think what people default into though is beating themselves up, particularly us women. We beat ourselves up and then we go into, was it this? Was it that? Am I enough? Would it be this? Would it be that? And the reality, because I've been on that side, I've been a hiring manager, I've been a recruiter,
Mm-hmm.
you will never figure out the real reason as to why you were not picked for that role because sometimes it's so out there, it's nothing personally to do with the person at all. And you could be putting your whole self worth and telling yourself you're not enough for something that has nothing to do with you at all anyway. They might have pulled the role, they might have given it to someone's friend. Like, you'll never figure it out. So there's
Mm-hmm.
no point. And if you're going to murder yourself with thoughts, murder yourself with good thoughts and think of think of all the good stuff out of it. I think it's normal to be disappointed because you put your whole into an interview. You put your whole
Yes.
self into it. Often
Mm-hmm.
if you're not prepared though, because I think people go through the steps now of I apply for a job and then someone calls me and then I get an interview and then I go to the interview and no one's taking stock of what it all actually means in the bigger picture. It's your
Mm.
life, it's your lifestyle, it's all of the above, it's your mental health, it's your mental fitness. That's all factored in. And we're all just kind of going, la, la, la. It's going to be your second home. So you got to think way more strategic. Listen, you've built a lot of technical depth through varied roles that you've had and experiences. How
True.
did that diversity of exposure shape your confidence and learning?
Oh, that's a lot. And still I'm learning. Still, I would say like I will give me 30% honestly, because I have a lot to learn. And yeah, I'm learning every day. Even in very small scale, I'm working with some 10, 12 people every day in my team. And people are very knowledgeable. They're so curious. They are always on their top tiptoe, like, okay, what's next? That kind of vibe actually I really like. And I also trying to get that vibe. And that's the beauty of working in CV. I really enjoying their work culture, and I'm getting that chance to learn as well. I'm so happy that I got some good leadership in my career, who really trusted me to give me a chance, like, okay, go and pick up this work. If you're okay to learn and do R&D, do that R&D. And yes, I have done successfully so many times. Yeah, and that gave me confidence. So confidence is not building in one way, like you have done one job and you are feeling so confident. No, every day is actually you have to work on yourself. When you are getting your code review or something, hey, Arpita, can you change this to this? And every time if anyone says that, I try to get into that, like why they said that. If I have some time and energy, I will want to try and to deep dig, so that it will give me a full constructive and logical thinking that okay, this should not be done for a particular reason. So if you map your reasoning why you don't need to do that, so you won't forget and it will be in your mind.
Nice. Nice. And from what you've observed more broadly, then, what kinds of support or signals help women feel confident, continuing and growing in technical roles after having children?
I honestly think like when a girl become a mother, her confidence level should be the highest, because she has experienced a lot having a kid. And at least when you are holding him or her, or when you are giving a life, that's the biggest thing. And you have to be confident because you have a lot of energy, lot of probability, and you have to explore yourself more. I never felt that much confidence before parenting. Now I really feel like I am capable enough to explore anything, because when you are handling a kid or handling a human being, it is giving you a lot of opportunity to explore. I mean, you will be expert in food, what kind of food to give you some energy, and what kind of energy you want in your kid. So you'll be expert on that. You will be expert on your cooking. You will be expert on handling and managing things. So when you are master on handling and managing things, now I map, I can't put Caesar here. So that small thing also mapped in your brain. So your brain is now like its brain muscle is actually growing, right? So you are thinking a lot, your mind is always on. So this is the best time to work. This is the best time, because if you go to the work, you will get some different kind of environment, different kind of mindset. You will meet people, and it will give you more energy, and it will give you more vibe to come back home and enjoy your parenthood. So yeah, I always think it's like I don't know, I feel always like after being a mom, it's really gave me a lot of confidence. That's because well, if you have a career, you have already handled the work culture and workplace. So you have that experience. Now another experience add on. That means you are more experienced. That means you are more confident.
That's a wonderful perspective. And how do you, because obviously you still work full time and your child's now 3 years old. How did your workplace help you get that into a place where you can do both and you can have it all?
I don't think there is any difference in having a kid or not, because there is childcare support, right? So the only thing, you have to get him ready in the morning. You have to drop him in childcare, and when you are coming back, you need to pick him up. So the rest 8 hours or whatever the productive 6 hours, 5 hours, whatever your workplace demand, based on that, you can absolutely be so productive by that time. I would say, instead of saying the question how workplace help, I would definitely be very thankful to childcare, the way they support. That's also another thing. He's also getting exposure to a lot of learning, lot of friends. I can't be 10 friends at home if he's with me, right? I have no capacity for being like a 10 kids energy. It's not possible. So it is a very good system. I really love this system. So you are becoming a mother, take some time, get rest, get back to work. Your kid will be absolutely fine in childcare. Trust them. They're really very good people, and they're very caring. And focus on your work.
It's very clear the reason you have it all and can have it all in your world, even though you face your challenges and you've admitted that yourself. You've had
Mhm.
your challenges, you have your moments of meltdowns, but you don't live in that. And I think to me, the reason you have it all is because of your perspective. You've got this beautiful outlook on everything. And I love your perspective on it. I love the way you view being a parent. And I think that's why it is all working for you. It's your mindset, it's your groundedness, it's the way you look at the challenges, but you also see the beautiful side of the challenges and learn.
Beautiful. Yeah. So challenges, without challenge, you can grow, right? So if I suppose last week I had a very hectic week and someone hit my car, and then I thought, oh wow, another challenge is on the way. So how now I'll handle that? So okay, I have to figure out. Definitely that gave me a little bit confidence. Okay, if I have a hectic situation now, and still if someone hit my car, then definitely I will, next time I'll match that situation. So come, I will handle that. So it won't be harder next time, right? If you, once you handle that.
Like that. I've made this rule in my life now that
Mhm.
whenever I start to spiral and my thoughts go nuts about a situation or I'm about to react, I say to myself, is my family okay? Are we safe? Are we healthy? Yes. Okay, that's not as bad as I think. I cannot tell you how much that changes my energy instantly. The minute I think that, my thoughts change completely to calm. So it's about tricking your brain into it's not a
Yes.
threat. It's not as bad as you think. Your thoughts are going nuts. Yes, you're spiraling. Pinpoint what it is and then go, is my family safe? Am I
Mm.
okay? Am I healthy? Yes, I am. Then I'll crack on. This isn't as bad as I
What
think. And I
else you
think it's
need?
a really good rule. It really helps me
Mm.
to calm my nervous system down. And I appreciate that. Arpita, you have set a
Mhm.
clear goal of becoming a design architect in the next 5 years, because we spoke about this. What skills, experiences, or mindsets are you deliberately building now to get there?
Okay, I don't want to go very deep level on that. But yes, every day it's like I'm breaking and questioning myself what else I can do next day. Because IT is a very vast area and it's full life cycle. There are a lot of granular things. And I think now I am bit exposure to almost all that part. But now my goal is to get deeper in every part, because whoever architect I worked on for quite a long time, and came across with a lot of people who are in that position. They know literally everything. And and it's not about only knowledge, it's about the mindset and the attitude. I'm very observant to them, how they are thinking, because suppose there is some designing thing, we are in the meeting and they're like, okay, what kind of question they're saying. I really try to get that mindset, what's it's coming from, and I'm questioning like how far I am. I'm really very very far now, but at least if I can do a little bit on that, how they are thinking, how their attitude is, how they're looking into that, what point they're checking before make it a green tick. So I'm observing those kind of quality in them, and I'm trying to build it in myself. I don't know whether I will be successful or not, but even if I can do at least 10% of that, I will feel like, wow, I have done a lot.
Very smart. Like, again, what a great outlook and a way to look at it. That's the direction I want to go in. Who am I looking at that's already gone ahead of me and done that? What are their qualities?
Is always attitude, and because knowledge will change. Today you don't know cooking, tomorrow you will start cooking, and in maybe some time you will cook good food so that people can eat. So same way technology, you don't know anything, because I started from zero, right? 7 8 years back, because yeah, I spent some couple of years only in study. So I would say like in 8 years back, I didn't know like what console, honestly. When I started, when I programmed Hello World, it was so joyful. I thought like, oh wow, tomorrow definitely I'm getting a job, because I write down Hello World in a programming language.
I love your reflection on everything you say is what's going to give me that confidence. And then you don't just talk about it, you action it. You say, what's going to give me that confidence? Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise how you can achieve? I know it's very metaphorical, it will be like dramatic, but honestly, if you really want flowers in your garden, you have to nourish that plant, you have to water the plant, and eventually the flower will come. So instead of looking into the flower, if you observe like how a plant is growing, that's better choice.
You're absolutely right. Listen, Arpita, it's been a joy. I brought you on because to me, you're just inspiring. You have a great story of how you just faced adversity head on with the best attitude and the best mindset ever. And I think your attitude to parenting on top of your career in tech is just phenomenal. And so thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much.
And to everyone listening, Arpita's story is such a powerful reminder that leadership is often built quietly through self reflection, courageous decisions, and choosing growth even when things feel uncertain. So, if this conversation resonated with you in any way, I hope it reminded you that there's more than one way to build a meaningful career in tech, and that what's possible is often broader than we're led to believe. So, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what's coming up next. And until then, keep challenging the status quo and be the change you want to see. See you next time.